Welcome to the Passion Behind the Art show. It's all about diving in with individuals to learn the story behind their passion. It's your host, Daryl Pinner.
It's another week, another amazing guest, and another opportunity for me to bring you value through someone else's story. So without further ado, let's jump into this week's episode. Oh my goodness. Episode 100 live event was amazing. So much value. Each guest broke down just various ways on how they turned their passion into dollars. And I'm just so thankful, so grateful for each guest. So grateful for each person that came on and joined. It was just an amazing experience. Yes, I was beat after just streaming live for 9 hours. It was crazy, but it was well worth it. You guys are in for a treat. Truly a treat. So get ready for an amazing experience on how each guest turned their passion into dollars.
What up? All right, so this is the last live interview for today, but definitely not the least of all the interviewees. Woo! So I'm back. Thanks so much. So this is the last one, as I said, but not the least. This dude means a tremendous amount to me, so I'm pretty excited to have him on, and he's bringing a unique perspective and a unique way on how to use your passion to generate revenue. And man, I just can't wait to kind of share what Mr. Courtright has to say. Kyle, give me a thumbs up if you are ready. Well, he gave me more than a thumbs up.
Oh, my brother.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I can't complain. A bit exhausted, but I'm doing great.
Yeah, this is quite the day that you've constructed here, huh?
Oh, man. Dude, I'm so excited to have you on. I didn't even want to belabor it anymore.
Oh, man, I'm pumped to be here. Thanks for letting me come on.
So one thing, though, I didn't even realize, one of the ways that you've created a way to generate revenue is so unique to everyone else. And
okay.
I can't wait to share it because nobody wakes up in the morning thinking of, okay, this is one way I could use my passion to generate revenue. And even though you may not be breaking the bank, but it's still a way. Kelly, dude, I just want to let you know, Kelly has been riding this thing out.
What's up, man?
Oh my gosh, she's just been riding this whole live stream out.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, it means so much to me. Everyone that's just been jumping in, I really appreciate it. But if you're watching right now, I want you to take a screenshot because Kyle got a few things to give away. I want you to take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot and share it in your stories. Tag us in it, or you can share it on your feed. I've seen a couple of people share it on their feed. So take a screenshot and share it that I can decide the winner for this awesome stuff that he's going to give away. So they do need to be a designer, right?
It's helpful.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, yeah, you need to be able to design and have clients to really take advantage of what he has to offer, right?
It's true. I think there's a couple things I want to give away, but one of them's the ebook, which I think could apply to a wider audience.
So the ebook, so you're doing two for both?
Yes, yeah. That sounds great.
So that means 4 people in all?
Yes. So what I can do is I want to give away a free entry to Logo Wave Awards, which is, if you're not aware of it, it's a logo awards platform where we recognize and reward designers that are pumping out some sweet work and, just developing some great stuff for their clients along the way. And so it's a way to really, the heart behind the brand is to encourage designers, but really add value to these designers' services. So once you add award winning to your title, man, that adds credibility, and you can, win more projects as a result, get more qualified clients as a result. And there's a lot of just endless testimonials that I've gotten from people just saying, hey, this has been a game changer for me and my business. I've been able to up my rates. I've been able to bring in some more clients, win more projects. And it's just such a rewarding thing for me to hear those things. So yes, Logo Wave, I want to give a single free entry to, two different people that happen to be logo and identity designers. So that's a little bit more niche there, but, and then the ebook it is a logo design ebook, but it applies to a wide range of people that, you can just own a business, and it talks to marketers, small business owners, designers. So yeah, there's a little bit of a wider range there.
Okay, so 4 people in total. So if you want an entry, take a screenshot of this, right?
That's right.
And share it in your story or on your feed, and tag us in it at Courtright Design at DPCREATES. And I will pick the winners and let Kyle know. But dude, you kind of started to talk about, Logo Wave a little bit, but tell us like a quick snippet on who you are, what do you do, and then the different ways you generate revenue.
Okay. Well, I am Kyle. I am a logo and identity designer. It's more my specialization, but I do I kind of dabble in the marketing realm too. So, man, if you want someone to tell you to niche in on something, I'm not your guy. I've kind of set up my business to be kind of a one-stop shop of sorts when it comes to branding and marketing. And, that works for me just because I love the marketing side of things too. My dad was a pharmaceutical sales rep, and my mom was an art teacher. So I always tell people that I feel like I got some of their passions all kind of
mixed
encompassed into one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely, specialize in some of the more identity work and tend towards that. And so that's kind of how Logo Wave came about, where, I just wanted to have some sort of a side gig where I was able to help other designers on their journey, and just kind of looking into some different things along the way. I always, and this, I've pitched a lot of bad ideas to my wife along the way, and I don't know it's bad until she tells me it is, and I love that because we can be honest with each other. So after a lot of bad ones, this was one that she was like, oh, wow, that makes sense, I think. And, after, diving deeper and seeing, is there a market? Do people actually want something like this? There's other design awards sites out there that are doing, an awesome job on, how they're offering, that platform to their base. But, I feel like I could, be distinct, or Logo Wave could be distinct in a way where it's more user friendly. It's kind of more of a fun, like experiential thing. And again, of course, the value that I can give with, the jury. I mean, people like David Airy and
like your jury is top notch.
Bill Gardner, Ian Pageant, Jacob Cass, and others, man. Alina Wheeler, Yeah, it's crazy.
Debbie Miller. Don't forget that.
Debbie Millman was on there
Yeah,
for a
Millman,
while.
yeah.
We're moving people in and out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then just recently, Luis Fili came
Oh,
on.
my goodness.
And I'm just like, wow, it's just amazing, these influencers and the design space that have kind of come on and said, yeah, I want to be a part of this. I recognize what you're doing. Our mission to help the design community and add value to our services really aligns well. And so, that's kind of been the fun part of it, where, you've been able to bring in some of these influencers, and, these designers, if they win, they can say, hey, the best of the best, like truly the best of the best, have looked at my work, and they affirmed it. And to say that to your client base or your potential clients coming in, that's huge. So, between that and then, another part of it is the $1,000 prize that the first place winner gets. I just added 2 more trophies. So we've got a trophy to first, second, and third now, which I'm really excited about. I'm constantly trying to make the experience better. And, I actually do listen to people coming in and saying, hey, I always kind of ask, how can I make this better for you? And they tell me, everybody has an opinion, and it's great, and I love it. And, I'd say about 80% of what people say, I take on board and implement, so, that's kind of part of it. The prizes, the jury, add to that credibility. It's a baby for sure. We've been going since June 2016, but man, it's fun to see it grow along the way here, and see these brand advocates really come out of the woodwork and really want to, share it out and help their fellow designers. So yeah, that's really what's going on on the Logo Wave front.
Okay. So you have client work, you have Logo Wave. What are some other ways that you generate revenue?
And then the ebook is another one. So a guy named Neil Patel kind of started producing these free ebooks a long time ago that he promoted on his site. And it's like, man, that's a great idea to, just kind of get some, some extra side income, coming in. And, number one is just helping these designers, and just kind of, I feel like I do have some value to give when it comes to, being a freelancer, entrepreneur, small business owner, and really trying to grow that to the next level through your branding and identity and logo design solutions. So, it's hard to put an ROI on logos.
Right.
It always has been, right?
It's true.
But, I kind of dive into, more of the practical, actionable advices on, how can we really promote ourselves as logo designers, as small business owners, marketers, whatever it may be, in order to, through our design solutions that we produce through our visual communications. So, it's been fun kind of seeing, I've had people from just like really small islands that I had to look up, somewhere in the ocean, and it's like someone bought the ebook from there. Like, I didn't even know this country existed. And, I've been blessed to, that it's kind of taken off a little bit. And really it's, through affiliate and word of mouth. I haven't tried to really promote it too much on my own. But, it's really just been, I think, a helpful resource for people. So it's 100+ pages. It's not your grandma's ebook by any means. Sorry about all the grandmas listening out there. But it's not. It's really fleshed out and really actionable. I think is the best word.
So what else? What other way else do you generate revenue? So you got the ebook, the awards, and client work. Any other way?
Yes. I'd say the last kind of big one that I'm really, you setting goals for 2019, and I'm really wanting to focus in on this more is, promotion for other, other services or tools or resources through their affiliate programs. So,
Gotcha.
gosh, I mean, you have to really hone in, based on whatever niche you're in the creative space. But you can hop on shareasale.com and really see, okay, what would my customer base or even, followers, fellow designers, really, what would really be valuable to them? And so I kind of have that first step in this, strategic aspect and, find out what that is. And for me, it was actually promoting a hosting company called WP Engine. And I only try to promote things that I've used myself and has really helped me, so I can, truly be a voice to other people and say, hey, this is my experience with this. And, it's really impacted my load speed on my site, for instance. I think, my site goes a lot faster than it did with, my previous hosting company. And so they've got an amazing affiliate program where they'll just give you $200 flat I know we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but they'll give you $200 if someone signs up through that link. So these are just like small ways where you can kind of, supplement things, especially with, there's a lot of freelancers out there that listen in on your podcast, I imagine. So, in the freelance world, it can be so up and down, this roller coaster, no matter, at what level, how long you've been doing it, that's just the nature of it. There's nothing steady about it,
Right.
Unless you've got, some serious retainer clients and some things. And even then, there's
still ups and downs.
It's up in the air. Yeah. Those are my main 4 ways that I kind of, bring in revenue and kind of supplement the bigger entity in my freelance design business.
Right. So one of the things I really wanted to why I wanted to get you on, and practically everyone else, at the previous interview, we got a chance to dive into workshops. And with you, it's like, okay, I've heard about affiliate marketing, right? I've heard about ebooks. I haven't really dived in too much with anyone with it, but I've never heard anyone saying that I want to create an awards platform through my passion for someone else. You know what I mean? And I feel like that is like such a cool idea, and the way that you're going about it is like there's so much value. It's, first of all, like, I like the idea that it should be an actual project that you worked on for a client. I feel like that changes the whole perspective of what's going on, because then it's a real thing. It's someone actually out there tangible using it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, that just changes the whole perspective, because, a lot of times it's just usually a usual, okay, here's the briefing and you create something, that briefing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're doing something totally different. And then with the jewelry that you have is just top of the line. Like, those are some of the possibilities that people can do. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I was really intentional. I was actually chatting with Ian about this. He's a good friend. I know you had him on earlier. I'm gonna have to grab this recording so I can listen in on everybody, because I haven't even been able to listen today. It's been so busy. But no, Ian and I kind of have gone back and forth, and one thing that we kind of landed on after the first couple waves was that we need to make sure that and this is talking to what you were saying before, is, each designer that comes in, this logo has to be created for a genuine client and a real client, based around a real client brief, as opposed to, something that's purely conceptual that you just kind of make up, because that's really the challenge that goes into it. I could go in and really create something, that's just a made up, name for a company, and really base the design around that. But really the challenge comes in is when these clients have a name, and then they, have an idea, and you give creative direction, and they've got certain preferences, right? And you try to give your own expertise in there and sprinkle that in, but man, that's kind of where the challenge comes in. And so it's almost like apples to oranges. And so, that was something that we really wanted to make sure was part of it, where, no conceptual work, just client work and call it a day. So, yeah. And, I would say, talking to what you were saying before, is if you're out there trying to, wanting to start something, like a new venture, or, kind of side gig, something like, logo, my, Logo Wave Awards, something like that, where you're just kind of supplementing, the freelance side of things, or, your main source of income. I've always felt that it has to start with, number one, what you're passionate about. It's so cliche, but it's true. You have to start with what you love. For me, it was logos, so that made sense for me. And then how I can help, people. What value can I give to people in this? Is there a market for it? Of course, but how can I help people to make this happen? And then I'm a true believer that at that point, if all those things check off, the business aspect of it and the ROI on, this work that you put into it will come.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's, people miss that, and they look at, okay, how can I make money off this idea? And instead kind of flipping it and saying, how can I help people in this? How does this align with my passions? And then kind of go from there.
True. I mean, for the most part, everyone that I've had on, that's like one of the most underlining things. How can I help? How can I bring value? How can I, help the community that I'm currently serving? And I feel like if we kind of approach it from that aspect, because all these different things that everyone is doing, all these different things are hard. They're all hard to do. They're all a lot of work. And if you don't have your why correct, like you just eventually just be like, you know what, forget it. I can't really do all this.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I love that. I love the why aspect of it. That really, because that factors in passion and who you're talking to in the same breath. And that's perfect. I love it.
So what would you say was was it just like, what made you want to do an award system? Like, where did that come from? Like, were you just kind of like spitballing different things? Like, no, I don't think I've ever asked you that. So
I don't think you have either. Yeah.
Like why? Because you could have just did an ebook. You could have created a course. You could have did all the other things that a lot of people are currently doing, which is awesome. But why an award system?
Yeah, I think that this is kind of delving a little bit deeper, but really I looked at, what I felt some of my tendencies and maybe gifts were. And one of those I think is encouragement. Like I enjoy encouraging others just in general. And so this was, the logo part aligned. There was a market for it that aligned. I'm helping people that aligned. And then, what do I tend towards? Like, who am I as a person that I can kind of really give my true self and put it out there in a business form, where I'm helping these designers. So, I think that's really what it came down to was the encouragement factor. I love chatting with these designers and seeing how they've, you know, how Logo Wave has truly impacted their business, to where, you know, they can, you know, they can start offering, you know, new products or services, or, you know, they have more worth, to these clients coming in. So yeah, that was really what it came from, you know, just this encouragement aspect to the brand, therefore the smile in the logo.
Got it.
Hey, I'm going to up the ante here. Okay. So in the logo, if someone can guess, whether someone on here right now, the first person who reaches out and can guess the subtlety in the Logo Wave logo, because a lot of people miss it, and they get it right, then I'll give them a free entry. So there you go. And you're not allowed, Daryl. I don't think I've told you that, but you're not allowed. Sorry.
That's cool, bro. So that's 5 people in general. 5 people.
Yeah.
Wow. So if they could guess the subtlety. So I'll keep this one going, because in case someone on the podcast, that when it goes out, someone listens, if they could guess the subtlety.
Sounds good.
Dude, you're so generous with this, man. I appreciate this. This has been awesome. You're so generous. You know what I mean? You're
okay.
So
okay, we've got some people coming in. So
I'm locking it up. Are you just gonna go ahead and pick the first person, or you want to group?
The first person. So the letter L is very close, Nachizi. Or I'm sorry, I hope that's how you pronounce it.
You're a savage.
The letter L is really close. You spell the logo with the face. You spell logo with the face. There it is.
That's the answer?
Logo. The word logo is in the face.
All right.
Cheesy.
So I will definitely. I know who. I've had some interaction with this person, so
perfect.
So you got it in free entry to Logo Wave.
Beauty. I'll send Nachizi. I'll send you a promo code. So you'll be set, man. Or I'm assuming it's a man too.
So you should say man.
If I called it, I'm in big trouble if I just called a man. A woman, a man. Shoot.
Oh, this is real life, man. This is what live is all about. It's real life. There's no editing.
Oh,
no
individual. Shoot.
Oh my God. All right, so give me some more. What else? Insight. Okay.
Okay. Good.
So you're
good.
safe. You're in the green. You're in the green.
Thanks, Nacho.
Give me
Appreciate it.
some more insight on generating revenue with your skill or passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some more insight. So I always tend towards I feel like there's a lot of blog posts out there. Man, and you would probably be able to, attest to this, that it's just too generic to me, especially with so many blog posts out there. Everything just kind of blends together. And when I feel like number one, a post that's more niched in, articles that are more niched in and, really step-by-step practical type of stuff is what people are drawn to. These posts that I'm really drawn to are the ones that say, hey, this is, say this is how I generated, $100,000 in income in my first year of freelancing, by following these steps. And, everybody goes about it, different, right?
Right.
And there's so many different, iterations of how different designers get to that peak or, that success, however you define that, of course. So, I think, for me, a lot of creatives, miss the digital marketing aspect of things where, man, if you have a website, have a landing page there where people can, download like a really mouth-watering resource in your niche. For me, it would be on branding, but for music, it could be a whole lot of things. But have them find this this mouth-watering resource. Doesn't have to be anything too intense. That it could be something you create in a day. That's like, people love checklists. People love cheat sheets. I could say, like, here's an email template of how I've gained 20,000 plus design projects, things like that. That's something that I would download. It's like, wow,
Right.
yeah, I'm willing to give out my email for that. And then what you can do is, once you've given that away, you can retarget or remarket to these people and give them a resource that you might be selling. So for me, it was an ebook and Logo Wave, but it could be something completely different. A course. You were talking about courses are really awesome right now. It could even be a podcast, and say, hey, by the way, I've got this podcast, would love for you to check it out, and if you like it, give me a review, type of thing. And that's what helps you climb in those rankings and things like that. So that's what I would say there.
So on that note, Kyle just walked you into it. I would love a review. I would love you to subscribe, and I would love a review.
Shameless, Daryl. Shameless.
Like, this is my lifeblood right now for the podcast. Like, this is the only way it grows. Subscriptions and a review. So if you're watching right now, it would mean the world to me. It would make my heart happy. Passion behind the art. All right? So as you said that, though, just jump right back into what you said. Like, I love that whole analogy of a mouth-watering resource. So in other words, something that's super valuable to that person that's coming there. You know what I mean? That, like, it's a no-brainer for them. They're not even thinking about, oh, I got to give up my email list. They're not even thinking about it. They're like, I have to have this thing. And we've all been there. We have all been there, where we go to this website that we are interested in, or this resource that we're interested in, and we say, I got to have this. Like, giving up my email for it is like nothing. You know what I mean? So and we touched a little bit on, a few other people touched on the email list, so we can touch on it again. People, get your email list, build it up. All right. I am there too. Like, I need to build mine up even more. You know what I mean? And I have different ways how I plan to do that. But one of the main things that Kyle mentioned is, when he says niche, focus down on a specific thing, a specific industry, a specific group of people. You know what I mean? If you can do both, then you are winning. A specific group of people and a specific industry. Then you could you don't even have to think about really what you're going to share. You just got to know that person and the industry, and you will automatically have what you need to share, if it's every day, every week, every month.
Yeah, 100%. And just to add to that, really honing in on that target audience, and then realizing, okay, what are their pain points? What are some things that I can actually talk to here that will just genuinely be a game changer? Yeah, and help them out. So that's really what I would kind of focus in on, is, okay, who's the target market here? And then, how can I really help them and hone in on giving them the most valuable resource possible here. And again, it doesn't have to be anything that, takes days, it can just take one day to get, some resource post, for instance. It could be, your top 15 resources that help get me to where I'm at in my business today. So you could really just do, a short snippet of each of those 15, talking to how it's helped your own business, and done. That's easy stuff.
That's true. I'm there with you. Like, so say, for example, like, you got a sponsor. Like, say if I got a sponsor for the podcast, like, if you have a template, an email template of what you sent to that sponsor to win the sponsor. Anyone that has a podcast, that would mean a great deal to them, because then they won't even have to think about what they got to write. They could just be like, you know what, this is perfect.
Yeah, 100%.
And you have it sitting there in your inbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing that you could think of. So think about the things that you do all the time, that you'll be surprised how valuable it would be to someone else. Your proposals, a proposal that you won your biggest client with, the template for that, like that would be phenomenal to someone else. You know, you get a 5-figure, 6-figure client with this proposal. Like, shoot, I'm thinking about it. I would easily go get that that proposal. You get what I'm saying? I just hope everyone understands. So these are things that we all have in our possession that we don't even necessarily need to create. You may need to tweak it a little, that it can be more for the general public. Yeah, but, you know what I mean?
Right. I know you were talking about this podcast, like presentation deck or sponsorship deck that Scotty Russell kind of showed you, and man, you know, it's that's good stuff right there. You know, you just got to be able to find something that's would be worth it to give out that email, because people do hang on to they hang on to their email pretty well these days, and I just feel like, you know, if you are giving that value, then, you know, you can nab that and remarket to them along the way. You know, build that relationship, build that trust and credibility, and then once you do have a product to offer, if you don't already, then it's just going to be that much easier, because they're further down the sales funnel, and makes it that much easier, because they trust in what you're saying. They find that worth and what you have to give, because they had downloaded this resource or something else along the way before that.
I'm with you. So it got to be super valuable to the person that's reading it. It got to be super valuable to that person. It has to mean something to them. Can't just like come out of the wind and, oh, let me make this. It got to mean something to them. At the end of the day, like, if you own a business or you want to have a business, remember your business has to bring profit. So at some point, you have to sell. Yeah. It's a dirty word. And it's different ways. And the best way for me that I've seen has worked is just taking people on the journey, not necessarily coming up and saying, okay, buy it. But taking them on a journey and kind of building some kind of relationship through that way. What would you say about that?
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I think sales can be a dirty word in the creative community, and one that we don't like, because it's maybe a different side of the brain than some of us have. But it's so necessary, and as visual communicators, we have to be able to communicate really well to our clients, potential clients coming in, and really it comes down to listening first, really honing in on who they are. You mentioned their why they're doing it. That's kind of next level type of stuff that you can kind of dive deeper, into their brand and business, and say, why are you doing this? What's the purpose behind it? And they really open up, in my experience, at least, they open up about, who they are, where they're looking to go, what their goals are. And then, you can provide a visual solution that really aligns with that really seamlessly. And that's what really the sales process is all about. It's true. It's a lot of listening. It's a lot of asking good, deep diving questions. It's not our job to necessarily convince and convert people. If there's some projects where I just have to say, well, I appreciate, your business and what you're doing here, but I feel like maybe I'm not the best fit, based on your goals. And so that there could be a number of reasons. It could be price, which comes up a lot, if they're not able to spend, if they're a startup, for instance, and not able to spend, what it takes for me to really flesh out these design concepts for them, and the time that takes, and the quality and care that I really try to put into my work, then it's okay to say, hey, I think I'm not the best fit, and you can pass on to somebody else and go from there. But yeah, it's really, are we a good fit together? It's all about that fit and aligning with each other. And so yeah, that's really kind of how I've gone about the sales process. It's, building that relationship, listening a lot, asking good questions, establishing trust, and, see where it goes from there.
Dude, it's so glad to have you on. Good for the audience and selfishly good for me. It's always good talk. Always good talking to you.
Oh, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. This has been fun.
Yeah, man. As much as I can have you a part of what
Ruben.
I'm doing, I'm definitely in.
Nice. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say hi to Zach. What's going on, man? If you're still on. Vashti, thanks for coming on. Ian Allen. Cool. Yeah, we've got a good crew on here.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, dude, thank you again. I really appreciate it for sharing your insight and just being you, man.
Am I the last one on the day here?
You are.
Oh my gosh, we're wrapping this up. Wow.
Yeah, we're wrapping this up. Yeah.
Dude, can I get a jingle or something? I don't know. Oh gosh. Okay, I see. You weren't really prepared for that.
Nah, no jingle. It's coming soon. But yeah, no jingle.
Okay,
dude,
all right.
This has been amazing, man. Thank you again, bro.
Well, cheers to 100 episodes. I mean, really amazing stuff. I mean, there aren't a lot of people that get to that point, and I'm glad to be along for the ride and be able to do this a few times here. And man, cheers to 200, 300, 1,000, and beyond.
1,000?
I mean, you already got to 100, so why stop there?
Oh my gosh. We'll see about that.
Cool.
We'll see about that. But dude, thank you. I'm gonna let you go, but thank you, brother.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
All right, peace, brother.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. I hope it's been super valuable to you, and you're now ready to take your audience building, your community growing to the next level to help you and help me build our empire, for lack of a better word, or just to build our thing. Remember to stop by iTunes, Passion Behind the Art, and leave a review and subscribe. It's very important to me. It helps the podcast grow, and it makes me feel good to kind of hear from you guys, to know what you like about this podcast, what it's done for you. So jump on iTunes and subscribe and leave a review. Passion Behind the Art. Be blessed.